Hi everyone, my name is Iri. I'm a developer, entrepreneur and digital nomad. And in this video I will actually talk about how it is to live a digital nomad life when you literally have no home, no place to come back, no place to live, basically travel the world and work remotely. So how it really like, how to not get insane from being lonely all the time, because I actually move alone. And yeah, so if you dream about digital nomad life, I will show you what are pros and cons of this lifestyle, and how to do it if you want to start living your life like this. So first of all, last 1.5 year, less than 1.5 year, I've been living in Portugal, in Italy, in France, in Bulgaria. I stayed for 1 month, in Spain, and in 1 week I'm going to Honduras. It's gonna be a separate video about this experience. I'm really looking forward to go there, and it's gonna be really interesting. I'm gonna share with you that experience, guys. So yeah, basically I haven't lived in any of these places more than 2 months, I think, 2.5 maximum. And now I'm visiting my friends in Barcelona. Actually this year I was thinking that I have to visit as much countries as possible, like countries I like, countries I would love to live in, and to understand where I actually want to settle down. So this digital nomad life, it was my dream from my childhood, because I always was dreaming to live life like this. So you're always moving, you have like a small suitcase, and you see a lot of countries, you meet different people and so on, and that's an amazing life, an amazing experience. But of course there are some challenges that you will face if you're going to live this life. First of all, my things are all around the world now, because I have a big suitcase in Milano, I have some things here in Barcelona, I'm gonna leave it there, and I have some things in Portugal. So yeah, I basically leave my things everywhere. So when I will settle down, I will have to go all around these countries and take my things back. But first of all, how is it like? You have to understand that this is a big difference between migrating somewhere, when it's immigration, like when you go to the country where you're gonna live, when you're traveling, just like vacation, and when you're traveling like a digital nomad. So it's a huge difference between these three types, and I tried it all because I immigrated to Portugal, and it's really hard process, because when you go on vacation, first thing that you think is, okay, what I want to do. I want to see some sightseeing, maybe I want to go to the sea, maybe I want to get tent, just lie on the beach and so on. So I basically want to have fun. When you immigrate somewhere, first thing that you're searching for is the grocery store, pharmacy, I don't know, hospital, and things like this. And when you're trying to build your life from scratch in another country, especially when you're alone, it's really hard, because you feel so lonely. You don't know anyone, you don't have friends there, maybe you don't even know the language, because I didn't know the Portuguese language. And also I haven't been in Portugal before I moved there, so it wasn't like a choice of life that I was dreaming to like live there. So it's a really hard process. You have to do all the documents, you have to face the bureaucracy, you have to find some new friends, you need to build deep connections, because you can't like have these small talks in the bars for like 8 or 10 months. You're just gonna get insane. You need some deep connections, and it's really hard to find deep connections. And it's when I was traveling before, I didn't understand why people are trying to connect with people from their countries, because it's more interesting, to meet new people, to speak English, to learn new languages and so on. But apparently, when you're immigrating to another country, it's very important to find somebody from your country. So basically, in Portugal, I was living in a bubble. I was living in Lisbon and Porto like for 4 months, and then 1.5 years in Lisbon. And I've been living in such a bubble where everybody, I'm from Russia, and everybody was speaking Russian. So I didn't communicate much with the people from Portugal or with other expats. And apparently it was very important for me, because when you go through such difficult process of living in a new place, you need someone who really understands you, like deeply understand you. So it's much easier to find and build deep connections with people from your country and who speak your language, who has your cultural background. So I wasn't really happy that I was in this bubble, because when I moved to Italy, I actually was I was socializing a lot, and I started to learn Italian, and I was communicating with the Italian people, and I really love Italy. That's my favorite country in the world. Yes, so it's very good when you start to communicate with people who actually live here, but when you're immigrating, unfortunately, you just need that bubble. I don't know, you like, mentally you are so low, it's so hard, because you're lonely, because you don't know the language, because you don't know the rules of this country, you don't know the law. You had to leave your family, friends, maybe your work, business. For example, I closed my business before I left Russia. So yeah, it was pretty hard. When you go on vacation, no problem like this. You will never face problems like this. And when you're a digital nomad, it's something in between of immigration and vacation. I usually like to say workation, because you feel like you're on a permanent vacation all the time, because you're moving around, and you see new places, and you basically go somewhere where it's the better weather and better things to see and do. So you're always a bit I don't know, you're always cheerful about this. And the other problem in digital nomad life is that you usually come to a country for 1 or 2 months, and when you go for vacation, you are okay to be alone. Like, for example, when I was traveling alone, I've been traveling alone for a long time, a lot of times. I went to Italy, I went to France alone, I went to somewhere else alone, I don't remember. But it was okay, because in your normal life, you usually talk to people, you have friends, you have family, you have these connections, and everything, a lot of things are coming around, and you don't feel lonely. And when you go for vacation, it's okay to be alone. For 2 weeks, okay, I'm gonna enjoy my life, I'm gonna eat nice food, I'm gonna see nice buildings, I'm gonna lie on the beach, it's gonna be fun. Maybe I even meet someone and have fun with someone, doesn't matter. But you don't feel this loneliness. And even on vacation, you usually, I think, feel this feeling when you want to come back home in the end. Okay, I'm a bit tired of this vacation, maybe I want to see my friends, my family, my, favorite cafe, and so on. When you're a digital nomad, you don't have any place to come back. Of course, I have my family, for example, in Russia, but I'm not going back there. And I don't have a home. Portugal is my kind of home. I actually have to come back there because I need to extend my residence. But still, it's not like your apartment is waiting for you. It's not like your friends are waiting for you, your family, or someone who's your cat. I don't know. No, that's nothing like this. And that's why when you come to a new country, it's like you're building your life from scratch. You're not just enjoying the sightseeing. You have to find your fitness club, your new gym to go there. You have to find your new favorite cafe where you're gonna drink your coffee. And you have to meet some people. You need some people, because when you're traveling for like 1 year and you don't have deep connections in these places, it's really hard. You will feel it. You will feel lonely. And I felt it, even though I love to be alone. And that's really important, to find some people there. So you have to find some, I don't know, like stable points, like the cafe that you go for coffee every day, like some routine. You have to build it, and you have to build it from scratch. So yeah, that's the difficulties and challenges in life of a digital nomad, where you can find these people. I don't know, maybe you use like Tinder, Hinge or something, some dating apps, because I don't know where also you can find them. Maybe Instagram. Some people just text me on Instagram that they live in this country, in this city, and sometimes I meet them. So yeah, it's not the easy thing, but you learn a lot and you meet different people. You don't build deep connections, but you meet a lot of people, and you communicate with them, and you see the cultural difference, and you learn a lot, and that's an amazing experience actually. And of course you see a lot of places, and my favorite thing is the time is going slowly when you go to new places all the time. Because if you remember like your vacation, when you come to your to the new place, your brain count the time like slowly. Like the first day is like a week. It's for so long. When I first came to Cannes in France, and I started to live there, first 2 or 3 days I was feeling like 1 month passed. Like so many emotions, so many things happened, so many new places and so on. And your brain actually, it counts emotions, it counts something new. It doesn't count routine. That's why when you're always in your like in a similar routine, the time goes really fast. So yeah, it's a cool thing. And so where you can find these people, you just meet them in the bars, parties, dating apps, Instagram, anywhere. So you're trying to build some kind of connections. Maybe not that deep, maybe for like 2 or 3 days. I'm not talking about one night stand thing, but maybe, I don't know, maybe you practice it and you like it, but I'm talking about like having conversations and you know, to meet new people. Another thing which is hard is that you don't have a place where you live, and if you, for example, doesn't have a stable work. I work for myself. I have my own agency, and I always been living like that. I've never worked for someone else, so I usually don't have like a stable income. So sometimes you have more, sometimes you have less, like different months, different salary. If you don't have a finance for like a half year in advance, sometimes it can be stressful, because you come to the country, you rent an apartment for 2 months, for example, and it's usually more expensive than long-term rent. So usually renting Airbnb is much more expensive. And you know that you have an apartment, like a place where you can sleep for just 2 months, and then you have to find something new, or maybe move to a new country. Like you have to figure out what to do. So it also, you can be a bit unfocused because you have a lot of things on your mind, like where I'm gonna live in 2 months, how I'm gonna pay for this and so on. If you have like a remote work, a stable work, like you work for someone and you have a stable salary and a stable contract, maybe it's easier. For me, I had the situations when I was a little bit nervous if I'm gonna afford my next trip and if it's gonna be that comfortable. But yeah, that's the price I pay for being an independent, like an entrepreneur. So that's another thing. And now I will tell you how actually to start to live like that. First of all, you need a remote work. for sure. Or maybe you have like money to live for 1 year without earning it. Okay, then you can start. I don't think you need my advice then. But if not so, you need remote work. I work as a like entrepreneur and developer now, and also as a content maker because I have some ads contracts and so on. So like some sponsorship. But I started to work remotely much earlier than I become a full-time developer. So I had my own business, I made some online projects, and I started to work remotely. I will tell you in another video about my career path, but basically you actually can earn online. First of all, you should like either find a remote job, either build a personal brand and build some products or services that you can provide and promote them. And so like this you can actually earn from anywhere from the world. But it's like a separate topic, but I'm not trying to like sell here something in case you were thinking that I'm going to sell you some webinar. No. So yeah, you should find some remote work to work there, because coming to a new country and trying to find the work there, it's more complicated. Still could take place. Maybe you're a barman or a waitress or a waiter, or like maybe you work at some service, and it's easier for you to come and find a place to work. Maybe like this, but in that case, I think you'll stay like more, not just like 2 months, maybe like 4 months in one country. Another thing is apartment. Actually, you can go to a country when it's not the season, like not touristic season, and it's gonna be cheaper. But still, you see the Airbnb booking, it's very expensive. I actually usually rent it, but oh my god, how much money I just wasted on this. That's uncountable. So yeah, you can rent this, but easier is to find apartment in some chats, in some topics like on Facebook or Telegram, if you use Telegram, or some apps like ChowBot, where you can find an apartment from people who live there, and maybe they also go to vacation, so they need a swap for apartment, or they just rent it out for this short period of time, and it's usually much cheaper than renting from Airbnb or Booking. Or maybe if you have an audience, for example, on Instagram, you can also ask them if maybe someone is just renting out their apartment. It's gonna be much more cheaper, much cheaper. Or maybe someone wants you to look after their cat. We had this situation in Barcelona actually, where my friends were sitting with the cat, babysitting. So yeah, and it's also will be much cheaper than renting the Airbnb apartment. And people, so you just go and practice your communication skills to find some connections. Okay, so if you have any questions about this digital nomad life, please leave in the comments, and I will answer with pleasure, or maybe make another video on it.